countries have monarchs, depending on how you count them, and there's no doubt that monarchs have a natural curiosity about one another, which can oil the wheels of trade. The Kings and Queens Club. Tonight, this queen is greeted by the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. So, straight from the airport, her first stop is the exuberant Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, one of the world's largest. Shoeless, the queen, whose range of hats is famous, now wears her tribute to local fashion, including her version of the traditional abaya gown. She meets children, learning the Quran rather late at night.
One of the things that's changed in the Queen's reign, and she is now very conscious of, is that she is also Queen of 1.6 million British Muslims.
The official welcome is a traditional Bedouin one, but again, this is really about corporate Britain. A European-influenced museum designed by a Briton, backed by the British Museum.
A British architect, Lord Foster, produced it, so lots of money involved. But the bigger picture is that in the Gulf, the Chinese are moving in. And this dance of royal diplomacy is one of the ways the British government is trying to fight back.
The role the Queen can play as Britain tries to find its place with the other great powers, the great powers of the world, is a very big one. The fact that they have such esteem and affection for her actually, I think, gives Britain an enormous advantage.
And she is seriously interested in the project and in architecture.
She's done her homework, yeah.
Which is really impressive.
The one thing you have to realise when you're abroad is that people absolutely adore the notion of the British monarchy. They're fascinated by it. They want to know about it. I mean, if I'm whatever part of the world I'm in, they will always ask me about the Queen, about what it's like, about the monarchy. And so for us as a country, it's a no-brainer, actually, in terms of what they bring, because yes, they bring something no one else can.
The pinnacle, of course, is the Queen's visit, but it's what's going on beforehand, where the political context is, what's going on with the relationship, and then you've then got to look at what happens afterwards. And it's the gathering of those strands that you pull together, and then, as it were, the Queen is the person who sort of cinches them at that one particular moment. And so these are special, and they add shine, varnish, and to some extent, paint to the canvas that is the relationship between us and another country.
The Queen's visit continues to the Kingdom of Oman, ruled by an old friend of hers, Sultan Qaboos. At times it feels more like Narnia. Bagpipe-playing camel-mounted soldiers, glittering forts. But Oman counts, an oasis of relative peace in an increasingly angry region. Often ignored by her people at home, the Queen has been helping keep Britain quietly plugged in around the world for 60 years. She seems to enjoy it. That is the job. But for a woman of her age, the politicians keep on pushing her hard. Is there any sense that sometimes it's a bit much to ask a lady of her age to undertake some of these huge trips?
Well, not really. I mean, of course, one naturally thinks, would it be a bit much? But very clearly, it isn't a bit much.
I mean, she's extremely well rehearsed at these sort of things now, but having done that for so many years, it must be incredibly tiring and is extremely emotionally draining. But she's led the way in doing walkabouts and with engagements, and long may that continue.
The experience of following the Queen, even for a short time, takes you to some strange places and involves a great deal of exotic transportation. It's sometimes like ordinary life, with the colour balance turned up so high, it's almost shrieking. But it's hot, hard work, and underneath the clatter and glitter, rather more hard-headed and down-to-earth than it looks.
It could have been done differently. Running this monarchy in modern times, juggling old authority and noisy democracy, hasn't just happened. It's been carefully thought through by the Queen, her father, her grandfather, and their advisors. They had an idea, a plan, and by and large, they've stuck to it.